And we're going to begin this week with reviews for World Tree Online, The Endless Savanna Third Dive, which is the fourth book in the series, written by M.A. Carlson. It is 540 pages, $4.99. It is available on Kindle Unlimited. And here is the author's description. Chaos has found a way to strike at the world, and now Bye Bye has just 1 week to return to the World Tree, or more players will be made to suffer the same real-world consequences. Hoping to find answers, Bye Bye races across the country to the headquarters of Seed Inc., the makers of the World Tree Online. Back in the World Tree, the Endless Savanna awaits, a place often called a province with no end. With tribal politics, twisted beasts and monsters, and a deadly slave ring, there are more than enough dangers awaiting. Bye Bye and his friends will fight as they always have, but it still might not be enough. Will the Endless Savanna be the end of their winning streak? So there we go. Full disclosure, I received a mounts copy for review. I purchased a copy when it became available. I really actually like this story. It was enjoyable. I've enjoyed every other book in the series. This one had a really strong opening, probably one of the strongest openings in the series so far. And from the very first chapter, I was engaged with the narrative and transported back to the end of the last book. There was kind of a cliffhanger right there. And it's like I was super engaged as soon as I got to chapter 1. The prologue was like, oh, that's nice history, and it ties in the story, but chapter 1 definitely pulled me deep into the story. So good for you, Mark. Carlson, the rest of the story outside of the real world storyline, which is quite nice, actually. The rest of the story is basically still in the game, though, so don't worry that it's taking the game for too long of a period. There is a real world plotline, which has already been mentioned in the novel description. But again, it's a shorter section. I honestly wish it was longer because I would have loved to have seen the consequences of the thing that happened, which I'm not going to spoil for you. But again, most of the story does still take place in the game, as it should, as a Little Bitty story. That section of the novel is very slice of life. It has, again, those whiny kind of past storylines sometimes, but again, it's enjoyable stuff. There's good banter, there's good action, slice of life adventuring, group humor, all the stuff that's kind of a hallmark of this particular series. If you like books 1 through 3, you're going to like book 4 because the characters are returning that you enjoyed. The same action, adventure, RPG progression, all that stuff is there. So there were a few fights that I wasn't too amazed with, but on the whole, it's a good overall story, and it didn't end with cliffhangers this time, so that's always a plus. It gets a score of 7.5 out of 10 for me. It's World Tree Online, Endless Savanna, Third Dive, with a score of 7.5 out of 10.